Good evening and thanks for joining us on the BSS News and Reports. I am Tunji Saliu. First, the main points. Governor Oyebanji targets revenue increase in 2024. As wife Olayemi celebrates Christmas with Ekiti children. Tinubu approves 50% reduction in transport fare nationwide. 10 die as heavy rains hit India. The news in full. The Ekiti state government has reassured families, dependents and relations of the fallen heroes of more commitment to their welfare. Governor Biodun Oyebanji gave the reassurance during the launch of the emblem appeal fund for the 2024 Armed Forces and Remembrance Day celebration at the Lady Jibowu Hall, Government House Grants in Ado-Ekiti. Let's now join Adedayo Adeleye for the rest of the story.
Governor Oyebanji was represented by his deputy, Okinwa Munisade Afuye, launched a sale of emblem with 1 million naira. He said that the launch of the emblem was aimed at rekindling government's interest in the plight of the families of the fallen heroes who lost their lives in the course of serving their fatherland.
This occasion is also an avenue to showcase our support and to acknowledge the roles, contributions, and selfless services of our fallen heroes. The celebration therefore expresses our deep appreciation to these gallant heroes and aimed at boosting their morale and their discharge, their heroic commitment to the country and humanity.
Governor Oyebanji noted that the ceremony was to let retired soldiers and serving officers note that their labor shall never be in vain, as they will always be recognized and remembered. He added that government will do everything possible in ensuring that the welfare of the dependents of the departed received the needed attention.
We shall remain committed to the unity and peace of this great country. Since the inception of Mr. Governor administration, one of the major tasks is to ensure the security of life and property in the state, as much as you can witness. This administration has continued to improve on the security of the state, and we will not be deterred in sustaining the existing peace. To sustain the peace, we will
currently for the oneness of the country.
It's worthy to note that Nigeria appreciates and honors the memory of our gallant officers who have paid the supreme sacrifice in order to keep the country united as an entity. The nation remains grateful for their efforts and sacrifices.
Also speaking, the chairman, Nigerian Legion, Ekiti State, Colonel Abdurazak Atoki retired, thanked the governor for his support for the Legion since assumption of office.
The launch is aiming at raising funds to assist the family members of our gallant men who have lost their life, to make sure we live in peace. This is the only way to appreciate our fallen heroes for their great sacrifice for the nation.
In attendance at the event were the dependents of the fallen heroes, members of the State Executive Council, service chiefs in the state, among others. Adedayo Adeleye reporting.
And the Ekiti State Governor, Mr. Biodun Oyebanji, says that his administration is poised to improving revenue generation and enhance the economic development of the state. The governor made a statement at the 2023 Christmas Carol and 9 lessons held at the Obafemi Awolowo Civic Center in Ado-Ekiti. Our reporter, Toba Babalola, was there. His report.
The Carol service and 9 lessons is an annual event to exemplify the spirit behind the Yuletide. Governor Oyebanji was joined at the service by his wife, Dr. Olayemi Abiodun Oyebanji, Deputy Governor Okinwa Munisade Afuye, SSG, Head of Service, top government functionaries, clergy, traditional rulers, politicians, and civil servants. The 5th, 6th, and 7th Bible lessons were taken by the governor's wife, Dr. Olayemi Abiodun Oyebanji, Deputy Governor Munisade Afuye, and Governor Abiodun Oyebanji. The mass choir, women in management, women in government, House of Assembly choir, and the state cultural troupe led the gathering to different carol tunes.
Let me see them, let us
school members and body of permanent secretaries in a special number. His address, the governor said at Gonye had been of bountiful blessings from God and egged the well-to-do to extend ends of love to the needy during this season. Governor Oyebanji egged the organized labor to consider the limited available resources in the state, which must be used judiciously to attend to others in the informal sector.
And I plead with Labour to accept it, because it should push us further. We won't be able to sustain it. That is the truth. It should push us further. Pension will suffer, gratuity will suffer, deduction will suffer. So it's better we do this in a way and manner that everybody will be happy, so that no section will feel neglected. But whatever we say we are going to do, with or without fact, we will pay you. That is the truth.
Those of gathering interceded for the governor, his cabinet members, Ekiti State and Nigeria at large. Toba Babalola reporting.
And the wife of the Ekiti State Governor, Dr. Olayemi Abiodun Oyebanji, has congratulated children in the state for witnessing this year's Christmas celebration. Dr. Abiodun Oyebanji, who spoke at the Children's Party organized by office to celebrate this year's Christmas with the children in Ado-Ekiti, encouraged them to celebrate moderately and focus on their studies to become better persons in here. Who rejoice with the children, also advised them to prepare for their future by being committed to their studies. Again, the train of the Ojúṣe Báwo, a monthly initiative of the governor, has reached out to the less privileged in Ekiti Southwest, Bonyi and Ikole local government areas of the state in the spirit of the Yuletide. The senior special assistant in the governor's office, Mrs. Shola Abe, said that the team visited Igbarodo, Aisegba, Iluomoba, Ijesha-Ishu and Odoro in Ikole local government areas to distribute cash gifts ranging from 5,000 to 10,000 to petty traders while hundreds of the aged were given food items. The beneficiaries, who were exactly 32, who recently distinguished themselves in their studies, have been given prizes by members of the Ekiti Association in Houston in the U.S. The ceremony took place at the Christ School Alumni Association Hall in Ado-Ekiti. Our reporter, Toba Babalola, again completes the story.
The maiden edition of the annual prize giving was attended by the award recipients, their parents, traditional rulers, officials from the State Universal Basic Education Board, Ministry of Education, Youth and Development, as well as Teaching Service Commission, TESCOM. Representatives of Ekiti Indigenes in Houston, Texas were also on ground at the ceremony. In his remarks, the chairman of the association, Pastor Bolu Alabi, said Ekiti Indigenes in Houston instituted this year's award for best students in the last junior secondary school certificate examination to encourage healthy rivalry and academic excellence in the state, as the association plans to impact on other sectors that affect the people and society.
This maiden edition is to kickstart what we believe will eventually become an award that will cover all the secondary schools in the state every blessed year. There are also plans by the association to be impactful in other sectors of the economy like healthcare, industries, science, technology, and so on.
Pastor Alabi said the initiative was to complement Governor Abiodun Oyebanji's feat in the sector. He said there was no shortcut to success and charged the students to be more committed to their studies. Checks of 50,000 naira were presented to each student by some members of the association, Mrs. Yetunde Alabi and Mrs. Fudusho Cholola, as well as the DG, Community Communication, Mrs. Mary Osho, the chairman of the occasion, and former managing director of Skybank, Mr. Olufemi Bakari, observes that indigenes of the state who sojourn in the foreign lands work tirelessly to survive and thank those in Eastern Texas for giving back to their states of origin. Our guest lecturer, Professor Wole Olaiya, who spoke on education in the season of Japa, says in the current reality, students can survive in the sector through qualitative education to engender intelligence, character, and success.
Education is the process of acquiring knowledge. It is about generally preparing for mature life.
The Onisha Oba Gabriel Adejuwon, Obuga Oba Adejimiadu, Olora Oba Peter Dayamola, and Chief Segun Ajibulu commended the efforts of members of the Ekiti Association in Houston, Texas for the initiative and urged the students to justify the lags in the academics.
The student I'm appealing to you, someone is giving you now, you should have the right of giving back if you do so.
The students thanked the Ekiti Association in Houston, Texas for the prize awards.
On its grassroots development, innovation, and creativity towards making life better for its people in line with the 6-point agenda of the state governor, Biodun Oyebanji. The body commended Prince Ogungbemi for his outstanding performances, especially in human capital development, as the committee for the honor approved its nomination in the gold category. Prince Ogungbemi was represented at the occasion by Mr. Bolaji Ogungbemi in Abuja, thanked the Interwaves Solution International Nigeria for the honor done on him, and pledged to continue to contribute to the development of Ajoni LCDA. In the meantime, the Commissioner of Police in Ekiti State, Dare Ogundare, has ordered the deployment of more tactical and intelligence teams across the state. Were encouraged to file their petitions at the Tribunal Secretariat located inside the High Court premises in Ado-Ekiti. The statement added that the office would open between the hours of 9 in the morning and 3:30 in the afternoon, Mondays to Fridays. This news broadcast is coming to you from Ekiti FM 91.5. And for news, information, or comments, send to bssnewsroom@gmail.com. To the rest of the bulletin now. A former Minister of Labour, Employment and Productivity, Simon Lalong, has been sworn in as a member of the 10th Senate. Lalong was sworn in at a session presided over by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio. Akpabio congratulated Lalong, a former governor of Plateau State and the Director General of the All Progressives Congress Campaign Committee during the 2023 presidential poll that produced President Bola Tinubu. In another development, President Bola Tinubu has asked the Senate to screen and confirm 11 justices recommended for the Supreme Court bench. Tinubu's request was contained in a letter read by the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, during the plenary today. The National Judicial Council recommended 11 nominees to Tinubu for appointment as Supreme Court justices. Staff of the Rufus Giwa Polytechnic War, Ondo State, have staged a protest against the non-payment of the 10-month salaries and allowances owed them by government. The angry workers, under the auspices of the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions and the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Polytechnics, blocked the main gate of the institution during the protest. The protesters, who wielded leaves, were chanting solidarity songs against the school and the government. They called on the state government to pay all